Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is part 6 of our series frequently asked JavaScript interview questions. Let's see what questions do we have in this video. First question of our video is what is nan in JavaScript? So nan, it stands for not a number, and it is a value returned when mathematical operations cannot produce a meaningful result. What does this mean? This means that whenever we are trying to perform any kind of mathematical operation and the result was about to turn to number but it didn't because of some error or some issue, so there is no meaningful number out of the operation which we performed. That is when we get nan. Let me show you example. So this is an online JavaScript compiler. Here we will see how do we get nan. Console.log. Here if I try to subtract some string value with some integer, then this will give me nan. What does this mean? This means that not a number. So whatever is the result, this is not a number. You're trying to perform some mathematical operation which is not valid. Our next question is explain closures in JavaScript. What do we mean by closure? And this is one of the very important question which could be asked to you. And if you are an experienced candidate, then you cannot skip this question. This is very important question. So closures, they are the functions that have access to the outer functions scope even after the outer function has finished execution. So what this means is we will be having a function. Inside that we will have another function. So the inside function, whatever is the inner function, that has access to the outer functions scope even after the outer function has finished execution. That is called as closure. Code example. Let's see a code example now. Yeah, let's see a code example for what do we mean by closures. So as we have seen in the definition, there will be a outer function and then there will be an inner function. So in this, what happens? See, firstly, what have we written? Outer function with hello. Argument we have passed here as hello. So this function gets executed, and what is the body inside this function? We are just returning a function. This outer function got returned. Okay, from here we got one value, that is this function. This function got returned. Now this, what is this closure func? Closure func is again a function. Now again in this function, that is a inner function, we are passing world, the value as an argument. And here when we see console.log outer function and console.log inner function, when we run this, we will get inner function as world, inner variable as world, and outer variable we will get as hello, though outer function got returned previously. Now in this closure function only, at this point only outer function got returned, but still we are able to access the scope of outer function. In outer function we had passed hello, that got returned, then again we are calling inner function, but inner function is able to access something, some variable which was given to its parent, which was given to the outer function. So that is called as closure. Let's see. So outer variable is hello, which is what we passed previously. Then this returned, this line number 8 returned as a function. Then again in next function we pass some value, that is world. So world is obvious that we would have got, but outer how did we get? This is because of the concept called closure, where we are able to access any variable or the scope of the outer function even after the outer function has returned. Let's get back to the third question now. Now our third question is what are higher order functions in JavaScript? Higher order functions are the functions that operate on another function either by taking them as argument or by returning them. So higher order functions, they are the functions that take a function as an argument, or they return a function, or they do both. They take the function as an argument, they return, they do some kind of transformation, or they operate on another callback function and then they return those functions. Okay, so let's see a example, code example for this. Let's see a code example for what higher order functions are. So in this code snippet, what have we written? We have written a function apply operation. This will get a array and this will get a operation. That what operation do we want to perform? We want to perform square or sum or subtraction, division, addition, anything, like whatever is the operation, that operation function we will pass. Then we have one function of the operation, whether it is square, plus, minus, divide, multiply, whatever it is, that can vary. Okay. And then we have how are we going to approach this um, question is we have apply operation. In this we are passing a array, and then we are passing a function. This is a callback function with the square, that this will get a value one by one, and this will square every uh, argument, and it will give us the result, and then that result is what we are printing. Now let's see how to. This is the result which we got. Now instead of this square, we could have also written something like add, which will get the arguments one by one and will return us the answer plus 5. Here instead of square, if I give add, then we will get similar answer with the addition, that 1 plus 5 is 6. So this is nothing but higher order function. Higher order function is going to accept a function. Here we are accepting a function, right, as an argument. So this is called as higher order function. It can also return function. So this is about higher order function. And one more, this was actually a custom function, custom higher order function. But in case we want to see the already built-in function, then if we take a array, and then what we can do is let result is equal to arr dot map a into 3 console dot log the result. This is our built-in map method given to us from JavaScript, and which is also higher order function. So map is a higher order function. This is expecting a callback function. It is expecting a callback function in argument. In argument, we are passing a callback function, which is taking one by one every argument of the array, every element of the array, and it is multiplying it with the 3. So this is about higher order function. Let's see the next question. Our next question is, what is callback function? A callback function is a function passed as an argument to the another function, which is then invoked inside the outer function to complete some kind of routine or action. So as we have already seen in higher order function, the function which we used to pass in argument, whether we want to square it or sum it or multiply it, that is called as callback function. So callback functions are passed as an argument to the higher order functions, and they are invoked inside the outer function to complete some kind of action or routine. That is what is called as callback function. Our next question is, what is event delegation in JavaScript? So event delegation, this is a technique where single event listener is attached to the parent element to listen for the event that occur on its children. This is particularly useful when dealing with dynamically added elements. Let's see, what do we mean by event delegation? We have seen the definition. Now we will see that what does this actually mean. Let us suppose we are having 5 elements. Okay, we are having 5 elements in our in our application, and then if we click on this one, then we are supposed to perform some kind of action and print that first circle is clicked, and similarly for the second one, and then third one, and then fourth one. Similarly, we have to, whenever any circle is clicked, we have to mention that this circle was clicked. But in case of event, and suppose if we are having thousands of circle, then what will we do? We cannot write 1,000 times on click on every element. In fact, what we can do here is we can make a parent element parent element, and then if these, there might be 1,000 or maybe 5,000s of the element, then what we can do, instead of writing the callback, instead of writing the on click on every individual element, we can write the on click on this parent element and check if the anything is clicked in this parent, and the index is 1 2 3 50,000, whatever is the index, accordingly we will do the functionality, accordingly we will write the logic. So instead of writing the on click or logic on every individual element, we write the logic on the parent element. That is what is called as event delegation in JavaScript. Thanks for watching, everyone.